Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of FinanceFeeds podcasts. My name is Nikolai Isayev. I'm editor-in-chief of FinanceFeeds. Joining me today is Victor Ivanov, who is a regional head of business development EMEA at Brokeree Solutions. Victor, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today.
Such a lovely invitation. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. We've seen each other many, many times at different expos and other industry events, but I haven't really had the chance to sit down and talk business, so to say.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. Today's conversation is really all about partnerships and integrations, and I really wanted to start out by asking you, what's the difference between partnerships and integrations? Is it something where, when you're brainstorming, you're like, okay, maybe we should partner with these people, or maybe we should integrate with these people? What's the difference, and what are some of the different aspects of both?
Sure. So the short answer will be that you cannot integrate with any partner, because partners can be just introducers or people from the industry who consultants, consulting agents who just suggest many brokers how to do the operations, and that's where they can bring them to you as potential clients. So when we talk about partnerships, it's like every source and every channel that brings you clients outside of marketing and cold outreach, let's say. So all your connections, all your network, all the integrations you have. So that's all partnerships. And integration is partnership with tech providers, where your technologies can work together as one. That's basically the difference.
And in terms of partnerships, what you're saying is basically, if we talk about retail effects, introducing brokers, right? Sort of introducing brokers for fintech, right? People who today service retail brokers or other types of companies who might be a good fit for your solutions, and essentially they can come to you, introduce you, and basically see if your services are a good fit for these companies, and if they are, then essentially kind of strike a deal.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the concept in general, but there are different types of people on the market. That's why it's very helpful to differentiate these partnerships and apply different strategies for its development.
Great. And integrations, when I look at Brokeree Solutions and all the different fintech products that you offer, I mean, you're integrated with this platform and that platform and this company and that brokerage. Just the sheer amount of announcements that you've had in the past few years. Can you talk a little bit about the strategy behind, again, choosing who to integrate with, how to integrate? I'm assuming that there is certain levels of, let's say, technological integration from a complexity standpoint, maybe. And is it really always looking at the market and seeing where the demand is from the traders, sort of like a B2B to C flow, where the demand is from the traders going to the fintech companies, let's say, or the brokerages themselves, then the fintech companies, technology providers, and so on?
Yeah. So all the integrations, I mean, technical ones that we announce and post and do all the time, I think most of them, if not all of them, are based on demand from the client side, from the client of this technical partner or from our client who would like to be integrated. Because nowadays, everybody in all the industries, people want their software and access to different platforms to be united. Not even in fintech. I don't know, you want your AC at home to be integrated with your car to know where to when you arrive home or something like that.
Right.
So and on another hand, talking about our industry, people want to have one access point to all their finance and all their operations and things. So what we do mainly, and what the most of our integrations are with CRM providers. This is a big part of technical integrations. And when we talk about CRM, the clients of retail brokers, they log into CRM. They want to have everything in sight. They don't want to log into any other website because it's not safe. It's strange, different design, different layout, if it's the right website or not website. So I'm like sharing my credentials with any like third party. No one wants it. Everybody wants one-stop shop. That's what mainly we do in terms of the software integrations. Of course, we have a lot of liquidity providers integrated to our breach solution, and other types of integration, some of them quite unique, but majority of them are this one.
And what are some of the key aspects that companies should look for when, again, considering integrations, be it with Brokeree Solutions or other providers within the industry?
So if we talk about, so basically all the integrations, it's an investment from both sides. So the main reason to do an investment is to return it back, right? So if we see the potential of having more clients who is interested in our software through this channel, that's interesting for us. If the CRM provider, for example, constantly ask their clients are asking constantly about, for example, copy trading solution which we provide. One option is to develop by themselves, which is super long, super expensive, and doesn't make any sense with the current market price. Or just to make quick integration with the well-known provider. If it's some social trading, it's probably Brokeree is the best choice. If it's a breach or anything else, or any IB platform, there are different providers on the market. So that's how it works. So the more potential business it brings, the more interesting the integration is.
And in terms of companies or brokers choosing which provider to integrate with, right? Purely from a competitive standpoint, is it a combination of price and technology, or is it a matter of just price? Considering that you mentioned copy trading. Copy trading is, I think, something that is quite popular these days among retail traders. And I recall speaking to your colleague, Tatiana Pilipenko, at the IFX Expo this summer with respect to Spotware, CTrader, and all of these different integrations that you're doing. But specifically, let's say for copy trading, is it a matter of the price of the integration, or basically using the different services, or are there competitive, let's say, advantages in terms of the technology itself, meaning, let's say, your solution versus another one? I don't know if this is something that we can talk about in terms of...
I think for sure, because actually not everybody understands this kind of this math and calculations behind it. So basically for me, when I start the conversation about integration, my main question is, how many clients do you have? So how many, what's an extra market, what's an extra amount of clients, potential clients, will know about our solution? That's my point. If it's like new software with 3 clients, it's less interesting. If it's like big software, all like long-term on the market with 100 clients, it's more interesting for our business to give an opportunity of easy connect of our software to the existing environment of the broker.
Great. And what's the key, I guess, when it comes to ensuring quality, right? Once you've integrated everything, once you are working with your clients, how do you ensure quality, and really maybe even more so a good user experience, right? Because the end users usually in our line of work are traders, right? How do both parties, both yourselves and partners that you integrate with, ensure kind of that the user experience is the best it can be, and ensure just basically overall quality of the integration and how it works?
That's actually a very good question. We currently working on the project regarding that. Talking about this theme in general, it's quite hard to evaluate it because it's mainly about the CRM kind of integrations. Because with, for example, liquidity providers, it's straightforward. You have integration or don't have integration. When you integrate the complex solution like our technology to another complex solution, it's a big process. It works based on API. So our software has API that another side is using. So it's mainly on their side. So they invest more into it because the whole development is going on there. We just consult because API is like, I believe everybody knows what API means. And yeah. So, and when another part invest more into the process, it's quite hard to come with your own rules and your own, thoughts about how integration should look like, because it's their product, it's their developer, their investments. Oftenly, their clients who request the integration. So it's based on demand, maybe from one or two clients. And there are cases, and I know about them, where the integration was done based on the specific request of the client. So not all the features, they just ask, would you like to use this? No, then we skip it. Do you need this feature? No, we skip it. In the end, this client says, okay, we're fully integrated. And the CRM provider says we are integrated. But when other clients come in and we know that there is an integration and we say, yeah, it is there, they face problems because they would like to use other functionality of our product, which is not yet integrated.
I see. Okay.
And this is, if I can send a message,
Sure,
using this opportunity. This is in long term not very efficient because after that, the whole experience from using both of our technologies, CRM and any other integrated system, will be lower, just because not all the features are presented. And people don't really care who to blame. They just want copy trading to work, being integrated into the platform. If it doesn't work as they expect, it's a bad experience. So I want to ask all the people who is interested in integration with any technologies on the market to do it for long-term partnership, let's say, to do it for many different cases and clients, basically to integrate as it is with all you can ask the provider what are the basic scope that should be there, for example. Because now it's cheaper to integrate only what is needed for specific case, but later on it will cost, it can cost the reputation in the end. And on our side, we are now working on the project of certification of integrations.
Okay.
It's not going to be mandatory, but it will give providers some benefits if the integration is certified. So we are developing the process, the guidelines, the whole approach, the platform for that. But that's where we would like to go in this topic, because it's our reputation, it's reputation of the third-party providers, the integrators, let's say. And it becomes much, much more crucial because basically we have, for example, talking about our copy trading as an example.
Yeah.
We have our own UI. But we see the trend that people don't really use it that much. Most of the clients use it as a part of integration.
Okay.
So it will be more and more, will go more and more in this way. So we need all to ensure that it's done. It brings you the same quality and same user experience as our native UI, for example.
It's interesting that you mention companies basically coming and saying, okay, well, I want the bare minimum, right? And your comment about the fact that later on down the road, while it may seem easy for a layperson like myself, then you just add a few other features and that's it. it's interesting that you said that that may not necessarily always be the case. It's actually, it sounds like further on down the road, it might be more difficult in terms of how much time, how much effort, and how much expense it takes, right? To basically build the solution or the integration out even further, right? Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
I guess the question then for me is, how do you convince someone who wants to integrate with you that they should look further down the road? Is it because maybe there's some case studies that you can show them or explain to them? Because in my mind, it's kind of like, okay, there's an integration. There's your services are being used together. Things change in the market, right? With respect to, again, the things that traders or let's say money managers, if we talk about copy trading or PAM, MAM accounts and things like that. Basically, the things that they're looking for, the things that they feel comfortable with, or the things they want to use today in their trading, investing, copy trading, however we want to call it. And then basically the demand shifts, and your partners who have integrations are like, well, okay, now it looks like we need this, right? Because we want to monetize this demand. But that's where it becomes significantly difficult in the sense, yeah?
You can say so, yeah. You can say so. Basically, all the cases are different, and I don't want to talk here about our experience only in our technologies.
Of course.
Because there are a lot of different types of integrations on the market. In general, I want to encourage people to think a bit further if it's technology that is long-term on the market. For example, copy trading, in general, as a trend, it's an old trend, so it's definitely not a wave that will disappear shortly. So it's a topic to invest, or if it's IB portal or anything like that, that it exists on the market for forever. So it's just the point to think, okay, maybe I should like charge clients for this integration less or same what is expected, but add a bit more effort on my side to do it long term, or to find out how to, maybe client wants it like that. There is a list of requirements, but you can do more investigations. You can talk to another provider on how to do it better, and maybe then to come back to the client with an option like, we can do it like that, but there is a better option. We can integrate the whole system and then you choose, or something like that. So just to think about it more in a long-term perspective.
Makes sense. We talked about copy trading. I was going to ask about prop, because I know that Brokeree has some solutions for prop firms. Prop was, the talk of the industry last year. We're kind of like in the second half of 2025. Do you still see a lot of demand for these prop services? And we just spoke about integrations and the difficulties, or let's say challenges, when you are speaking to potential clients about integrations. What is it like on the prop side? Because to me, it seems like there's the prop side is the wild west still, in a sense, right? There's so many firms popping up and then disappearing. There's the big players in the prop industry, but then there's many different smaller players out there. Kind of, what are you seeing in terms of the prop space, in terms of demand for your solutions? And then how does the integrations work on the prop side? Are they different? Are they more challenging? Things like that.
So when we talk about prop, what we see on our side, that the interest still exists, but it changed a bit.
Okay.
So when it was like last year, as you say, Wild West of this industry, so a lot of companies were open specifically for this kind of service.
Yes.
And a lot of them disappeared quite fast. But the trend still exists, and I believe that it's going to be maybe not in this size, but new copy trading. For example, there are companies, eToro, who is specifically working with copy trading and based on that. And eToro is a huge company.
Of course.
And this is kind of the same. So one trend where the company is specified on it generally, right? After that, a lot of companies started to add this service,
Yes.
copy trading, as a side, as a tool for traders.
Mhm.
Same with prop.
Mhm.
So companies now are interested to add this kind of solutions and this kind of offer to the clients on the site.
Mhm.
Like if you want, you can trade like that. If you want, we can fund you.
Mhm.
And if you can pass the evaluation, or many different ways now exist on the market on how to do this process. But in general, I believe it's quite a long bit because it's good. Traders like it. It's convenient. It's quite it's limited risks.
Yeah.
So it's a good innovation and good trend, I think. Talking about integration, based on our topic today, prop solutions require even more integration than any other software.
Okay.
First of all, because it requires in most of the cases, you have these challenges where people are paying. So the payment is not going to the MetaTrader account or any other trading platform. It's like a service payment. So you need at least a paywall, to process it. It's a part of CRM. Then you have restrictions and conditions on to pass a challenge to get to the funded stage, and you need a space where to see it. And it's better if the payment and the conditions and all the things are in one place. So when we talk about prop, I believe it's more the integration, the proper integration there is very important. On the other side, what we see right now, a lot of CRM providers, they already have, they create their own software for prop because it's quite easy to do. They have paywalls already integrated. They just need these constraints and conditions and so on. So that's where we see kind of a competition. But our software is not about that. We target mainly the existing brokers who would like to take this wave and add it as an extra service. So they don't want to buy CRM based on this technology. They want to add it to the existing environment because it's very hard to change. So that's where we are a step inside, and we help existing brokerages to add it as a service to existing infrastructure, existing paywalls, existing CRM, existing trading platform. Everything is there. And of course, we integrated with several CRM providers as well to provide better quality and better user experience.
I remember when you launched the prop solution, it was basically, well, when I read about it, it looked to me like an add-on, an add-on to an existing, let's say, retail brokerage setup where you can basically now house your specific clients who want to trade in that environment, in the prop environment. So
basically what we are doing all the time, we add technologies on top of existing environment.
So we talked about integrations, how sometimes difficult they are from a technological standpoint, also from the standpoint of basically expanding the different services within an integration itself. I wanted to ask you, based on your experience, what are some of the risks that brokers or CRM providers and other companies should be aware of or should think about before they, again, integrate or onboard a new partner?
So let's start from the evaluation of this possibility of integration. As I said, it's a number of potential clients. So main risk here, like the first risk, is to underestimate it and to probably invest more than the general integration can bring you, right? So it should be a balance. Another thing is when sometimes the solutions can be conflicting in some way. So for example, when the platform has this functionality in some way and your functionality, part of your software, like duplicate the functionality, it can be a risk, and users will not know where to go. And complexity So sometimes you think it's going to be quite easy, but when you go deeper in it, you understand that it's not, and then it's the time frame extends, the investments extends, and other things. And I would say I would name the legal part.
Yeah.
So it's a good practice, and we do it all the time to do some agreements before that, because everybody invests, everybody wants to feel safe, and to just restrict the not restrict but limit the liability of both parties. And another important thing, it's like when the integration is already done and live, it's very important to explain to both teams who work with clients, mainly support, but I don't know, different companies have different structures.
Yeah.
But like the scope of responsibility to guide the clients correctly on where it is about their part, where it is about your partner part. Because we face a lot of this kind of things when the problem is with integration and support of this part of this party sends the client to us, because in general it's a copy trading doesn't work.
I see.
But it doesn't work because of the integration. So you need to and it's like you just have to state it from the very beginning. Where is our part? Where is your part? To explain it to every party who is working directly with clients.
That's pretty interesting, like a workflow basically, to understand, okay, if a client comes to support and has this issue, we can or should handle it internally, and basically here's a cheat sheet of questions and answers of how to assist this customer. And then versus something else, which is, let's say there's a bug in the calculations in the copy trading. Okay, that's something that probably
to us.
has to be escalated to the let's say to the SaaS provider, right? I mean, if we can say that.
Definitely.
When you talk about agreements and legal and things like that, are you talking about like due diligence and just doing some due diligence on a potential partner integration, or is really kind of like if the integration doesn't work, but if, let's say, at some point the client doesn't want to use the solution anymore, kind of what that process is? Or
I'm talking mainly about the for example, it depends on the partnership, but the legal part should exist from the very beginning to avoid any miscommunication further. If we talk about standard partnership, we talk about referral agreements.
okay.
Commissions, when it pays for what, and all these kind of things. If we resell some software, you should agree on who is making the main sales. Even as a party joins the sales call or something like that, who provides support, how to build the process of exchanging the data between the main provider and the reseller support team.
Sure.
This kind of it actually takes quite a long time. We had this experience because it's really it's not like a fight, but you just need to think about all the possible scenarios and to address it correctly in papers.
It makes sense. I mean, look, the end user may be a retail trader. That's personal information,
Yes.
account balances, and all of these other things, which again, we know GDPR laws and all of these different things in different regions. Obviously, some things can be shared, some things can't be shared. So it definitely makes sense. I guess as you're describing all of this to me, I'm thinking back to my own experience at working at brokerages and all of these different things, and it's true. I mean, it's kind of like you dive into it and it's, oh my God, there's so much there, and it could obviously delay things as well, right? If you don't have all of those things synced up between the different between all the different parties, right? In a sense. And I guess that's why you said the first things first, that you need to get all of that stuff taken care of, right? Before you really move on to the technology side of things, right? And really start to look under the hood. Yeah.
Maybe not at this point, but when you agree on moving forward with your partnership, I would suggest like to think about it in advance, to have like a template in this for these cases, because it's not a lot of different cases.
Sure.
It's kind of a standard scenarios, like, I don't know, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Where we talk about, and of course, personal data, bank information, all this personal data of users, personal data of business users. I mean, brokers, if you resell something.
Sure.
This kind of things. Yeah.
When you spoke about, you can basically have an integration, but then not realize, let's say, that once you launch it, it starts to impact something that already exists somewhere else, especially on the side of the of your customer, let's say. And I call that kind of looking under the hood of a car, right? And making sure, like, okay, I'm gonna install this part. But it's an aftermarket part. It's not an original part. So I'm going to install it, but I have to make sure that it actually works. I've been through this. You've been through this probably many, many times in our industry, in our career. How often does this kind of does this happen? Because in my experience, even if you have like a checklist right before the integration goes live, and you're like, okay, I've checked off all the boxes. We've checked everything. Everything is perfect. And then once you launch, let's say, you still find something that somewhere breaks or doesn't work right. Sometimes long after the fact, not necessarily right away. I guess, is there any advice on the technology side? How do you properly sort of manage that? To be completely honest with you, I've been in situations where, there's a dev team, there's a QA team that's telling me, we've done everything. We've checked all the boxes. We've done everything. We've tested it in a QA environment. It works. So we feel like it's ready to go live. I've been in so many situations.
Until it goes live.
I've been in so many situations where, yes, it goes live. You start checking it in a live environment. And okay, sometimes very quickly you can see something is wrong, or something doesn't match up, or information is not being processed correctly. Or sometimes, yes, it takes a unique scenario after something goes live, a unique scenario that perhaps wasn't accounted for, to basically spring up a problem. What's Victor's suggestion on how to handle those kind of situations, or how to not run into them in the first place? Is there even a way to?
I believe no. I believe not at all.
No, right?
No, in our business, no, in any software. And if it's not only about integrations, it's about any new release, basically, any new product. You test it. Everybody have QA team. We enhance our QA team now significantly to maximize or minimize the amount of bugs after the live release. But again, based on my experience, it's not possible. And it's not only about, when we talk about complex solutions like CRM, how many information, how many buttons, how many things are there, or trading platform.
Yeah.
Also very complicated. When we integrate, I don't know, ChatGPT with an agent, probably it's gonna, not always, but the probability of success is much higher. When we talk about complex systems, that's where we cannot predict everything. So I believe people who worked in the industry for quite a while, they a bit got used to it, because, come on, even Microsoft, or I don't know, huge tech companies, they not always can avoid this kind of
course,
of things. So, and they have thousands of QA specialists and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it just has to be properly tested. It should be back tested. You probably can roll it out, not to all the clients, but when you know the infrastructure better, and when you will be able to help better, when you have kind of monitoring setup, to decrease the amount of impact to the client infrastructure, and slowly. So I don't know if you know, in our company, we never promote the software at the moment of release. We do it slowly. We don't want a lot of clients to come for the update.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of prevention for this kind of cases. And definitely, if we talk about integrations, both teams should test their part because they know it better, and then to find where the clash exists or something like that.
Like to fine tune things, right?
Yes. So it's, I don't know any other thing except avoiding bugs. Except testing, the proper testing of the software before the release.
And I'm guessing that it's probably in your, I don't know, in your material somewhere where it's like, everybody should account for the fact that, like you said, back testing, QA, right, quality assurance, however you want to call it, and then also, let's say, phased rollout or phased launch or release.
Yeah.
And then probably sometime after that for, let's say, enhanced monitoring of everything to make sure that everything is working correctly.
Definitely. And probably to add to the list you just mentioned, the capacity of development team to quickly react and fix possible issues after. So sometimes companies, they develop the software, the project is over, the team switch to another project. And something happened with this current one. The team is busy with theirs, so they try to combine both parts. So the new project is delaying. This project has not enough people to handle fixes or something like that. So I'm not the head of R&D, so I don't have the specific technique for that. But I know that we plan some team will stay after the launch to quickly fix if anything will happen.
Again, you're not head of R&D. I'm not either, but I've experienced that as well. Again, there's a launch, the team moves on to something completely different, thinking that this chapter is closed, and then there's an emergency and they have to jump on quick fixes, but at the same time they need to let's say answer to higher powers who are expecting this new project to get done. And it's I understand what you mean.
Yeah, it's messed it all up. The new project, the old project, that's
I guess basically to kind of finish up, I wanted to talk about a few things. Let's say mistakes that brokers or other companies, let's say you've witnessed make, right, when they're thinking about integrations or who to partner with, how to integrate and things like that. And also trust. I think trust is crucial in our industry, in fintech, forex, however you want to call it. How do you build trust or continue building trust in Brokeree Solutions products within the industry? But I guess first, if you can, maybe you have some, let's say, personal examples or case examples of, let's say, mistakes that you've seen.
When people are partnering up?
Or when they're thinking of partnering up or doing integrations. I mean, let's face it, not every partnership or every integration is probably ultimately successful, right? I would think in terms of longevity.
Yeah. So I would say some mistakes, what I see, especially, when on the expo, a lot of conversation going on. Some people are coming and they start to pitch their product as I'm a buyer, potential buyer.
Sure.
But I'm not. And the pitch should be different. And sometimes we miss some technology or miss some people, ignore them because they just didn't structure the offer correctly. Because you have to understand that it's like we are the best provider on the market. It's not bringing me a lot of sense.
Or confidence.
Or confidence, yeah. What I want to understand is how it will benefit my company, my business, and how can I enhance your business? Because definitely, if we want the partnership to be strategic, long-term, it should be a win-win situation.
Yep.
So when people are coming for partnership without understanding on how my business will help them, I understand that there is no there is no future. There is no ideas on the future. There is a, I don't know, KPI for amount of partnership make on the expo or something like that. So if you think about partnerships, think about how to do it long term, how to do it efficient for both sides, and come to me, knowing my business, and explain how my business can help you, because I'm willing to help other people.
Yes.
I'm like, a lot of people like to help each other in general.
Right. We all like to make money.
Yeah, if we make money together with that, that's a perfect scenario. Right. So just think about how to do it, both things. That's the one thing. And if we talk about technical part, what I said before, partial integration, it can be a wrong decision. Because we if we talk about, again, long-term partnership, and if we bring you more clients who wants to use both of our products and they can't, that's not gonna work. And we spend quite a time with different providers to explain this, that we need both parties to be involved fully, and even if the client requests this amount of work to be done, you can always, I understand no one wants to invest from their own pocket, if the client's willing to pay, what they pay for, we do. The rest, no. Let's discuss, let's talk, come to us or your any other partner and say, okay, we want to do a good integration. We had a very nice conversation with one huge provider on the market. And they said, explain us how to do the best integration on the market between Brokeree and what we can add on, what you are missing with another technology provider. Maybe we can add some specific features for you, for your product, to make it as good as possible, because it's for long term. That's the approach I would name the best in this matter.
I want to ask you a follow-up question on the technology side and what you just mentioned. Analogy. You have a car, you want to put a roof box on top of it, but in order to do that, you need to put these rails on first, and then the box goes on top.
Yeah.
Using that analogy, here's the question. The box is the longevity part, right? Having all of the technological functions within the integration to have longevity and for all the different features to be available. With respect to the technology side, when you are exploring an integration or a customer wants to do an integration, could they basically build rails to then, when they are ready, to put a box on top of that car? You know what I mean? In a sense,
talking
kind
about
of like from a technological standpoint, have things preset within the technology, but not necessarily have things sit on top of them yet. So maybe within a year's time they'll be ready to do that, but again, it won't be as painful as you described earlier in our conversation, in terms of the amount of effort, time, and money that it will take.
Definitely. So talking about this analogy with rails and the car.
Yeah.
So what I think the wrong approach is when you ask the client, how many bucks do you have? He says, I have only one. So you put one rail. And then you say you integrate it with this rail system.
Right. And he says, I want to put more boxes on it, but there's only one rail.
So, of course, to install 5 more rails, it's not that efficient, and client will not pay it because he has only one bug.
Sure.
Go to the rail system, rail provider, and ask how many rails usually people use in most of the cases. Is there any possibility to do some preparation to install it quickly after?
Okay.
To not invest now, but to have at least the milestones and the plan for quick extra development, let's say, of the system for bigger demand, for bigger clients. So just to talk, not to talk only with the client. Okay, what's the system? I want one rail. Okay, we install and we forget about it. You still invest. why not to invest a bit more of not even a development effort, but just to talk to the provider and to ask them how to do it better, because it's not definitely not only for one client.
Right.
If the provider is big enough.
Cool. All right. If we go back to the topic of trust, I guess again it's based on your experience. How do you build trust with partners, with platform providers, with CRM providers? Given that you are in the fintech space, right? I deal with brokers a lot, but brokers and retail clients is very easy to understand how trust is developed or broken there, right? How does Brokeree Solutions kind of build trust with your clients and partners?
So basically, the trust and honesty is in our DNA. It's one of our core values, the integrity, we call it. And it includes a lot of things, but we are open and we are openly talking to everybody about all the possible, difficulties, or about our interest in all this project, or about the amount of investments we both would like to bring. So this is one part. It's like just our regular behavior with partners, with clients. We're always transparent. We never say something that we won't be able to do after. Also, the feedback from other partners or clients who work with this technology provider.
Yep.
Also very important. And we are right now talking in Cyprus. And this is kind of a capital of, right now, I would say not the Forex business itself, because companies are moving, but software providers, a lot of them are here.
Yes.
So we just see each other in like live on different events. We talk, we hear the people, we hear what they say about their current clients and how they attitude the problems they face or something like that. So it's a personal conversations for sure, and that's why we attend all these expos all around the world, just to talk to people, because nothing can replace, for me, not in all the cases, but if you have at least one meeting with a client or partner live, you understand much better than after the phone call with 10 tech people on the...
That's true, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So this, you can never be sure 100%, but we try to show how transparent we are, and we see that people try to follow this trend, let's say, in our conversation.
That's cool. I think it's very important to keep it it's like an open dialogue, right?
Yeah.
To talk to each other. I mean, you may be competitors, or might be speaking to someone who's using somebody else's
competitors all the
technology.
time. We invite them to our events, and
I see everybody at many different events, and it's cool that people talk to each other, you know what I mean, and kind of share their experiences, because if you don't, there's always many different issues under the hood, right? Again, my car analogies, but again, it's when I think about fintech, SaaS, the products that or solutions that your company provides, and other companies and trading platforms, a lot of times you could think that it's a very dry topic, right? It's kind of like, what is there really to talk about, right? It's a bunch of technology stuff and integrations and dev teams. But at the same time, I mean, there's still a personal human touch to this.
Yeah.
There's people behind the scenes building the technology and integrating it, but there's people sort of front and center who speak about it publicly, and obviously kind of push the industry sort of forward, I think, right?
Yeah.
And kind of innovate going forward. So I wanted to actually, my last question to you was going to be in terms of innovations. I mean, time is flying by very, very quickly this year. It's September.
Yeah.
So we can pretty much start thinking about Christmas gifts and all of these things almost now. Is there anything that you can share about, let's say, next year? And is there anything brewing in the pipeline for 2026 that you can let our viewers know about, that they could get excited about?
in terms of our technology.
Yes, of course.
So right now we have like multiple different projects going on and new releases, and right now we are quite busy with this new requirements from MetaTrader about .NET restrictions for plugin for MetaTrader 5.
I see.
Some of our products are like, they can be integrated this way, and we want to maintain all the ways of integration that are now exist. So we invest resources to the redevelopment of some parts of our products to comply with these new requirements. That's the one big topic. And another big topic that I want to tell people on the market, because it's something new, we are finishing the development of the API between our major products like copy trading and PAM, to trading platforms, let's say. So right now we have an API to integrate our software to any other, but we are building another site to integrate our solution to trading platforms. So brokers or companies who provide different trading platforms, not only MetaTrader, or there are big brokerages who have their own.
Correct.
Now it's possible to integrate our products to your maybe small, maybe unique, your own trading platform by yourself. And it's going to be a huge thing, I think.
Sure.
Because there is a lot of demand and there are a lot of platforms now developing new. So that's the thing. We also have another big project on the table, but right now I'm not ready to talk about it.
That's okay.
But yeah, but it's going to be interesting next year for sure, because we are preparing something special.
Yeah, well, I think this new API rollout is big because, again, it really expands your opportunities to offer your services to many other companies in the industry, right?
Basically, yeah, not only trading platforms, we are now have interesting projects on the table with different providers of services who would like to act as a trading platform towards the social trading. So we can do it quite custom.
Cool, very cool, very cool. So there will be some more announcements in 2026 from Brokeree Solutions. I guess, Victor, to wrap it up very quickly, you and I, sometimes we run into each other just randomly because we both live in Cyprus. How do you like life in Cyprus? I know that you have a family, kids.
Yeah.
They just went back to school probably this week.
Definitely.
How do you like life in Cyprus?
I do like living here. My family enjoying this place. We are here for more than 3 years already. We changed different districts of the city, and it's actually changed your experience in Limassol. Yeah, it changed your experience significantly.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're back to Limassol. Yeah.
Okay.
Back to little. Yeah, so sorry.
Yes.
And it's a bit different experience, but of course, Cyprus cannot give you, and we spoke about it, I don't know, sometime in summer, about the cultural part.
Yes.
That we are a bit lacking of it in comparison with New York or some...
It's an unfair comparison, though.
Yeah, yeah. So it has a lot of potential, the island itself, and we see that it's developing, and it's very interesting to see it and to be, to live together with the island at this period. So I hope it will be much more interesting and better. A lot of services are opening, but right now not everything is available, but you have to find a balance. You can always fly somewhere for a culture and then come back for the sea and mountains.
That's true. That's true.
To Limassol, to Cyprus. So everything is great.
Cool. Great. Well, I wanted to thank you for coming in and speaking to me today in studio. And we wish you and Brokeree the best of luck. We have a very busy conference schedule coming up, so I'll see you next month in Dubai probably, and many other places in between. So thank
you very much for your invitation. It was a big pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.